Taurus, it's September. Welcome to my channel, Starchaeology Tarot. I'm Desi. I will be your Starchaeologist, aka tarot reader for this September reading. Just want to get some divine messages to you guys, tell you what's up, what's going on in other planes here for you, what's in the 5D that needs to manifest in the 3D for you right now. Give you guidance, help align you with your highest self, your highest path, your highest good. What resonates is what is meant for you, what doesn't is not. If you have liked, subscribed, engaged with this channel in any way, I so appreciate you. You are such an important part of this community. For those of you who have become patrons of mine, I love you. Thank you. You are helping me continue this work and provide this service for you. If you haven't considered becoming a patron, check out that link below. I built a Patreon. I built a Patreon so that I can do more intensive, in-depth, diverse readings for the Starchaeology Tarot community. If you look forward to your astrological reading each month, please become a patron, because those are only available every single month on my Patreon. Here on YouTube, I rotate what signs are posted each month, so you won't have access to all 12 signs each month if you're not a patron. And then beyond that, there are moon transit readings, daily card pulls, pick a pile readings, just spontaneous live readings that I hope to be doing with my patrons and engaging in that way. Also, more customized readings for individuals are available at the higher tiers. Asking a question each month with a card pull, an in-depth, full 1-hour tarot reading each month for my third tier patrons. But at the very least, if you really support the work that I'm doing here, it would mean so much just to become a first tier patron. It's only $8 a month. It's very affordable, and it will help me to continue this work and make it even better for you. So thank you in advance. Okay, Taurus, let's jump into your September tarot reading. Taurus, we got the King of Cups, the Tower, the Chariot, and Page of Cups is the bottom of the deck. This is a time for you to get very curious about yourself. Observe your feelings, observe your emotions, almost the way a scientist observes them, and not take feeling as fact. You are... This month, there are a lot of walls coming down for you. There's some, acts of God, almost seeming natural disasters, if you will, like lightning strikes, things completely out of your control that are causing you to surrender to something that might feel like it's destruction. It might feel like things are falling apart. The beautiful thing about the Tower is that things need to fall apart in order to come together the right way, especially things that were built poorly, whether they are belief systems or security blankets or, world views, world perspectives, the creeds by which we live our lives. If those things were built on faulty foundations, foundations maybe that are more rooted in childhood wounds than in truth, in personal truth, or alignment with our higher power, then that is not a place, that is not a tower that you want to live the rest of your life in. So those things need to fall apart in order for then the right things to come together in the right way for you. There's only so much space. So when we have something that is wrong, that's taking up so much space in our lives, sometimes it's like we want the right thing. We want to build the right thing in our lives, but we don't want to destroy what we already have. And that sometimes can't work. We have to sometimes destroy what we already have, or at least surrender to the destruction of what we already have, so that then we can welcome in the new. We have the space to welcome in the new. And that really is what this month is about for you. Don't make assumptions about what things look like, and by what things look like. Don't let your feelings lead to conclusions about what these things mean for you, these actions, this crumbling down that you're observing. Rather, this is a time of, like, despite the Tower energy, which can feel a little scary, a little uncertain, a little unstable, because it is destructive, it is for this greater enlightenment. It is for future creation of something that you actually willfully create. Something that you intentionally create, as opposed to something that was created by default, created outside of your problems, created by your parents' conditioning, or, your previous conditions, something that you had no intention of building, that you've been living in, that's been limiting you in some way. Now you get to build with a clean slate, driven by your own will. And that is your right, I'm hearing, as a human being. As a human being and a divine being in one. That is your right. This is a time of imagination, dreaming, getting in touch with the feelings that come from within, your inner circumstances, not your outer conditions. And from that place, building. Let that place be the blueprint for what you build next. What those feelings are, the feelings that live in the light for you, not the feelings that are created by default by the shadow. This is surprising for you, I want to say, Taurus, because you think of yourself and you are a very emotionally intelligent person. You're someone who's done a lot of work, a lot of emotional work, a lot of emotional exploration. You're coming off a time of being incredibly self-reflective, very, in touch with your feelings, in touch with things, very aware. So to have things to be, kind of like feel like you're in a place of chaos right now, or destruction, almost is like, why? I've been doing this work. Like, why does it seem like things are falling apart? Things can be falling apart because you are doing that work, because those things need to fall apart. It's just further affirmation that you are on your path, that you're doing things correctly. There's also something about the King of Cups. If this energy was blocked for you, if that doesn't sound like you, Taurus, if you're not someone who's like, wow, I haven't been really aware, I haven't been really in touch with myself, then what this can mean, this King of Cups, that, the reversal of the King of Cups, like when we think of that King of Cups energy as being blocked, what's really going on is, like, the King of Cups is someone who is emotionally intelligent, but blocks those emotions. Still doesn't really honor what he maybe emotionally knows. Still tries to control them, still tries to manipulate them, doesn't really have this Page of Cups mindset, which is much more about surrender and observation and flow, losing yourself in that Cups energy, rather than trying to control the Cups energy. The funny thing is part of emotional intelligence and emotional sovereignty and awareness actually is not necessarily about controlling emotions. That's not the end goal of emotional intelligence. It's rather acceptance. That's what the end goal of emotional intelligence is acceptance, and being able to surrender to surrender a lot of the time. I'm just going to leave it at that. Surrender a lot of the time, and recognize that control is something that we do when we're not very emotionally evolved. It's an ice cream truck here. I want to say too, Taurus, that what is coming up for you is kind of a test of will. It's a test of willpower. And that willpower comes from emotional intelligence. That willpower comes from your awareness, from what you know in your heart, not what you fear in your heart, though. There's a difference. And it might feel like, this is very different from inner strength. This is more a display of strength. It's a display of outer strength. So coming off the Tower, when you are creating something new, a new structure in place of what that, what's the word I'm looking for? In place of the mess that the destruction of that tower left behind, you might feel like you're kind of like holding opposite forces together. You're trying to like do this impossible thing. You're dealing with like dualities of being alive, and it feels like, how can I possibly exert my will when it's like these opposites are trying to drive me into opposite directions. But we all experience times with this where this is put to the test for us. This willpower, this determination is put to the test, because that's when we can really surprise ourselves, when we are dealing with dual forces, with opposite forces, and yet we still manage to do this miraculous thing, this test of endurance, of holding something together that seems like it should never be held together. It can't be held together. Don't let the existence of duality, which is a fact of life, it is a fact of existence, don't let the existence of those opposites be enough to keep you from even trying. This is a time to put your willpower and determination to the test. And this is not something to sustain. This is not a lifestyle. This is something that we show. This is strength that we show in short spurts. That's what's needed for you now. A display of strength that is temporary. And there will be a time when another type of strength is needed. The strength that we see in the strength card, which is much more about internal strength. That's not displayed. That's not about controlling or holding these dual forces together. It's funny. This is going from control of feelings to like control of your surroundings. It's like a transference from, let me try to control what's going on in myself, instead of being like, I'm going to accept what's going on with myself, embrace what's going on with myself, surrender to what I'm feeling on the inside, recognize that as being emotional intelligence, surrender to this crumbling, surrender to this destruction, and ultimately redirect that control to the things in my surroundings that I actually can control. I can't control this. I can't control what naturally comes up within me. I'm a human being. But I can control what I decide to do with what comes up with me. I can have fear that comes up and then choose contrary action. Feels like I'm doing opposite things. But that kind of choice, that hard decision of physical choice that other people can see, that is a display of the kind of strength that you need right now. That willpower, that determination, even in the face of opposition. What a big month for you, Taurus, to have the Tower and the Chariot here. I think that this is a time of potentially immense growth for you and a complete redirection of your life. The Chariot is also about determination, a decision being made, choosing a new direction and going to it, just being like, that's where I want to be and I'm going to make it happen. And I think you're going to surprise yourself this month if you really surrender to what needs to be destroyed, surrender to those feelings you have, accept those feelings, observe those feelings. Be a student to your own heart. Let your heart be your teacher and be a student in your heart's classroom. And then decide, what do you consciously want to do with that information? What do you consciously want to build in place of this crumbling tower? And then just having enough determination to do it. because that's all that's needed here. It's just determination. It's not skill, it's not talent, it's not logic on your side that you need. You just need to be determined. Really cool, Taurus. I'm like buzzing with this reading. I want to hear what this is like for you specifically, how this is manifesting specifically in your life. Please comment below. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please consider doing so. And if you'd like to become a patron, if you'd like to support this channel and make the content explode, I would so appreciate it. $8 a month for my first tier patrons, and the tiers go up after that for people who want more personalized monthly support via tarot, individual readings of all kinds. Please check it out. I would be so grateful. I love you regardless. Thank you so much. I'm rooting for you, and I'll see you next time.